Hey, it's Pat and Jess. Hey, it's Jess and Pat.
We are finding aloha. So in this video, we are joining a group of YouTubers to talk about 2018's wins and fails. So it's a collab. I will link everybody down below. It's a bunch of wonderful budget YouTubers, and I'm excited to see everyone else's video. So for ours, of course, being a total Excel nerd, complete Excel nerd, I had to make a spreadsheet of summarizing all of the year's expenses. Pat has not seen this yet, so we're gonna go through it together. We're also drinking today, so it's beers and budget. We've got our Guinness Blonde, which is a lager we like.
Pretty good.
Very good. So let's talk about our fails first. We bought a good amount of clothing, like some boots and clothes, and we never budgeted for clothes, really. So definitely need to add that into 2019's budget. We don't buy a lot of clothes, but it's always good to have a little bit of a sinking fund for clothing. That was pretty much our fail. We also went over in our eating out category at the end of the year. Some months for grocery and alcohol we went over, but actually I'll show you down in the spreadsheet that we evened out at the end of the year. So let's look at the spreadsheet. For grocery, this is kind of every month's grocery budget. This is,
I'm just wondering, like, why is it so all over the place? Like 600, then 500, then 800. Like, what are we buying?
Yeah.
Gold-plated turkeys for people?
Yeah,
I mean,
gold-plated turkeys. So some people budget $200 a month, and then on 5-week months, they just like really pinch those months together. I budget per week. So if it's a 5-week month, it's $140 per week. So I do 140 times 5.
I knew that.
Yeah.
I actually knew that.
You knew that. So the percentage is what percent we spent over what we budgeted, basically. So like this one, we went a little bit under budget. In February, we went a little bit over, and so on and so forth. In June, we actually went on a vacation to our honeymoon, actually, in California. So we were extremely under budget in groceries because a lot of our eating out just kind of went to that vacation fund. And then overall, we were at 99.94%. So doing pretty good. So total budgeted $7,130 in groceries. That is crazy to me. We do live in Hawaii. Groceries are expensive. Okay, so that's grocery. Restaurant, you can see trending, we were over quite a bit in eating out. We ended the month with, or the year with, like, I don't know how to say this, 25% over what we budgeted, which is not horrible. We budgeted $2,310. We spent $2,888.
We took a lot of people out to lunch and dinners, though.
We did. Pat, I'm not going to put it all on you, but we do like to pay. Like, if we go out to dinner with a group of people, we like to say, no, we'll take the bill. Yeah. We just like to do that. And, you know, there's been plenty of times where they've done the same for us.
Yeah. I hate the hassle of trying to break up a bill. I think it's irritating. I'd rather just pay and be done with it and walk out.
So alcohol, just like groceries, I was actually really surprised that alcohol we were under. So that was really exciting.
That's
budgeted
a lot
this
of money,
much.
though.
We went under, in a year. It's a lot.
I mean, what, $11,000-$12,000 on alcohol, restaurant, and groceries. That's a lot of money.
This is our kind of utility. Storage and cell phone. We are looking to drop our storage unit. Our cell phone did drop at the end of the year because we stopped paying. We paid off our phones, basically. And then internet. We did buy a 4G wireless internet hotspot for our boat. We don't have hotspots on our phone because we're grandfathered into an old plan. So overall in utilities, we spent $3,843.99. Boat repair, we budget about $100 a month for boat items. Another win is that we did budget for 4 new batteries. Batteries last about 3 years, maybe if you're lucky, 5 years if you're really lucky. I think our batteries were about 3 to 4 years old. So we did get 4 new batteries.
I think they were older than that.
Might have been.
Yeah.
Household, we went over by 50%. I was actually really surprised by this. So we did buy a couple splurges, like...
That's what it was.
Yeah, we bought like new pans,
right. We didn't budget for them, but they were needed. I mean, the pans we had were ancient, they were old, there was no nonstick on them, they were Not to mention that you don't want to have any type of Teflon in the house with a bird.
Yeah, I think we officially weaned out all of the Teflon in the house. Teflon is it's toxic for everybody, but it's extremely toxic for birds. Like if you put it on the stove and forget to,
you turn around, your bird's laying there dead.
Be dead, like instantly.
So we got rid of that, and we also got rid of a lot of pans that were taking up a lot of space. Obviously, small life living on a boat, you have to have, or
a
you
couple
have to think
really
about,
good pans that can do multiple functions.
Yeah, everything on a boat has to be multiple functions to be on a boat, or it's not worth taking up the space. So.
Yeah.
So it was nice, and we got our mixer.
When we went plant-based, we realized that we were making a lot of our sauces and things at home, so we really wanted a good blender. You're making a lot of cheeses with cashews. You need a good blender to blend the cashews. Yeah.
So we didn't budget for them, is the point I was making. We didn't budget for them, but we did need them.
And a lot of them were impulse. So maybe 2019 will be a little bit better, at least.
Yeah.
Thinking that we need the item and then next month budgeting for it, or having a sinking fund for miscellaneous items like that. So that was that. Clothing. So we spent $1,200 last year in clothing, which is kind of funny considering we don't buy a lot of clothes, but
I don't get that at all.
We did buy some really nice Columbia hiking boots. We got like rain gear for hurricanes, things like that. So we didn't budget for really any of that. I mean, I think the boots this September month, we did actually budget for the boots. We took that out of maybe when you
I needed a new pair of sandals.
Household.
Yeah,
and you go through slippas, the slippas here in Hawaii, but you go through slippas like crazy. Car, hey, another win! We bought a car. That was really exciting. We paid cash for a car, a little Dave Ramsey Subaru. Love it. I love that little car. It's perfect for us. So that was really exciting. That was one of our wins. This was the car, the registration, and the insurance for 6 months. And then here was the next insurance for 6 months. And then gas throughout the year. So overall, we spent $3,436 last year, or in 2018, on all car and travel expenses, and without the actual cost of the car, it was $1,736. So that was exciting.
That was a win, yeah.
That was definitely a win.
For sure.
Pilot's license, another win. We are cash flowing at Pat's pilot's license, so that's super exciting. So far we've spent about $4,000 on that. Boat loan, we paid off $18,000 to the boat, so that was super exciting. Another win is that my dad took over the boat loan, so he paid off the boat loan and now we are paying him at a much better interest rate.
Yeah, very nice.
Closer to a mortgage interest rate, because I think we pay about 4% now to my dad. We were paying about 9%. Because a boat loan is not, even though it's our home, it's not like a mortgage. You know, you're buying a boat. It's a much higher interest rate.
Well, it moves. The house stays still. The boat moves. There's danger involved with a boat, so they want to insure their loss, I guess.
Right.
A little bit more, so you pay a little more interest than you do in a house.
Another thing that I actually don't have in this summary is the expenses that we were able to pay to keep Pat's dad's house. So his dad died a little suddenly. I mean, he had health problems, but they weren't expecting him to pass.
No, not at all.
He passed very suddenly, which may be a blessing in some ways because he didn't suffer at all before passing or anything like that. It was just like a sudden passing. And
it opened doors to family members that I didn't even know were around.
Yeah, which is really great when there's a death in the family to actually build relationships, because I know it breaks a lot of families apart. There wasn't a lot of organization. There wasn't a lot of talking. There was nothing planned.
Yeah.
After he passed, so it was kind of like, oh, now we have this extra house.
Yeah, we still had mortgage payment. We still had all these payments that had to be
fees,
made.
It's a mobile home.
Yeah, and we were able to cash flow. Yeah, the cremation, all those things we were able to cash flow.
Yeah,
so those are all wins.
Yeah.
In our book, that, we were able to cash flow all those costs.
Because we could have easily lost his dad's home very easily. Travel. We actually had a lot of trips back to California to visit family. I went in January, and Pat actually was able to piggyback some family trips off of work. So work paid for a good portion of him, like some of the flights, for him to get. I don't know if you can hear the bird back there, but the crazy noise is going on as our parrot.
I'm not trying to ignore her.
I know, it's just
She wants to open that door.
So we were able to take many trips back to visit family. My grandparents are both getting very old. I was able to surprise them in January, which was wonderful.
Yeah.
Pat got to visit his family multiple times. Oh, and we got married.
Oh yeah.
A win! So we got married. We actually bought rings for under $500. So we got married for
Less than the rings.
less than the rings, and then we went on a 2-week honeymoon to California, which was a really great trip. We saw all kinds of family.
It was good. We had a lot of fun. It was fun.
And
we had time for family and time for us.
So we got married and had a honeymoon for under $5,000. I mean, under just a little bit over $4,000 actually. So that was a win, definitely a win. And then this was our take-home expenses. We both took home about, like, this is our added income together, was about $84,000. We spent about $55,000. To debt was the $18,000, and then we have about $8,000 in savings right now. This is our sinking funds and our emergency fund all together.
Yeah.
I would say 2018 was a major win. I am super excited for 2019, and
I am too.
2020 as well. Hopefully we'll pay off our boat loan in 2020, and hopefully he'll have his pilot's license, and it's just,
Yeah.
I feel like we're both just finally kind of living for ourselves now.
That's exactly what I feel. Like, it's finally, I don't mean to say it like that, like finally, but
Yeah. I mean, he had kids young, so...
yeah. It's just, we're finally focusing just on us two and our lives and things that we want to do and accomplish, and trips we want to take, places we
Yeah.
want to see, sales we want to do.
Right. So 2018, major win for us. I know I've read a couple comments from other people in this collab. Maybe their 2018 wasn't so much of a win, and I don't want to be boasting at how great our year was, but it was really good for us, and it can be really good for many people if you budget and get your finances in order and tell your money where to go. And also just keep in mind that some years it's just not. You could still budget, you can still keep your finances in order, and you can still have a crap year. And the most important thing is just to come out of it being good for the next year.
I also think that, you know, things happen that are unexpected, like my dad passing away, and that was a huge expense, you know, that we had to cover, because there was no one else that was going to cover it. So we had to cover that expense. And then had those things happened when we weren't already budgeting prior, you know, having the Dave Ramsey type mentality of we're trying to get everything taken care of, we wouldn't have been able to do that.
Yeah.
It would have been a huge, it would have been a credit card purchase. I keep hitting the table. It would have been a credit card purchase or something like that. It would have been detrimental to our finance.
So that's what we got going on. Our 2018 was a win. Again, everybody will be linked down below that was in this collab, and I can't wait to watch all their videos. I hope you go check out their channels, and if you're coming to our channel from one of their channels, thank you so much for giving this video a chance and checking us out. That's all I gotta say.
That's it.
Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Cheers to 2019.
And and the bird. I lost my train of thought.